Don't worry, everyone. I'm here. It's me, AssertiveDolphin, here to save the day.
Foolish mortal, what can you possibly do against me?
I'm gonna stop you.
And just how are you going to stop me?
Well, I'm gonna write a review on you.
Wait, you're just gonna write a review on me?
Yeah. And I don't think you're gonna like it.
So in other words, I can just keep destroying this city? You're not really gonna do anything physically against me?
Well, I suppose so. I mean, I'd prefer if you didn't.
Right, okay, so I'm just gonna keep doing this now. You have fun.
Okay. Well, anyway, this is my review on Resistance 2. I do want to specify something first before I have a bunch of Resistance 2 fans coming at me like,
You know what? No, you just keep your opinions to yourself because you're literally 6 years old. You're 12. You don't know nothing. You don't even know how to do anything. I don't even care about your opinion.
You must die!
Shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up!
I don't hate this game. I want to make that very clear, okay? There are a lot of things in this game that I do like. I actually really like the multiplayer. The multiplayer in this game was fantastic. They did a great job with it, and honestly, I'll give them praise for that, and I'll give them that, okay? However, my biggest issues with this game are what they did with the campaign, how they wrote things, how they designed certain character models, how they did certain things like with other characters. Those are my problems. And however, unfortunately, I think that this game has more flaws than positives. Am I saying it is a horrible piece of crap? No, I'm not saying that. It has some things of value in it. However, sadly, I think that it has more negatives. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. And so I'm going to be bringing up top 5 reasons why Resistance 2 is a flawed game. Number 5. The character introductions. Oh my god. Okay, here's the thing, guys. Not all of the characters are absolutely ruined in like the first appearance that they have. But there are certain characters that you just immediately do not like when they're introduced. Okay, let's look at this guy. This friggin' guy, okay? First off, let's just take a look at him. Look at this guy's design. He looks like he's wearing a scuba suit. Secondly, I hate to harp on the voice acting, but this guy sounds like they just found him off the side of the street. Like, really, listen to him. He sounds like he's not even trying.
I apologize for the sedative, but until we know how far along you are, we have to consider you a threat. I'm Major Richard Blake, Director of Advanced Tactical Ops at SERPA.
I'm Major Richard Blake, Director of Advanced Tactical Ops.
I'm Major Richard Blake, Director of Advanced Tactical Ops at SERPA.
Dude, try!
I'm Major Richard Blake, Director of Advanced Tactical Ops at SERPA.
The other thing about him is that his design. Look at him. He looks like a dude you would just see walking down your street, like your neighbor or something. He doesn't look like a badass. Let's go into Resistance Fall of Man, okay? Let's look at Stephen Cartwright, okay? This guy is a badass, alright? First of all, the way he's introduced is like he's the leader of this whole battalion, okay? And like, he's one of the last surviving members of, like, the British Army, okay? And he's doing it in the most badass way. Like, he's an elite soldier. He's elite, okay? And he makes that very clear. There's even a scene where he walks up to Sergeant Hale and basically says to him, "Hey, if you fuck with me, I'll shoot your head off."
Cartwright was the best soldier in my command. Nothing got past him. He must have known Hale was infected when they first met in Nottingham. Fortunately, Cartwright never cared too much about the small stuff.
And he's talking to Sergeant Hale. You know, the guy he just watched wipe out an entire army of hybrids, alright? This dude is badass. What is this guy? He looks like a math teacher.
I'm Major Richard Blake, Director of Advanced Tactical Ops at SERPA.
And it's not just this guy, okay? It's like everyone in this game is introduced kind of poorly, except for the Doctor. I actually think the Doctor was introduced in an okay way. I thought he was kind of decent. But everyone else was just, ugh, I don't care. Other character. How about we go into the bad guy of the game? Now let's look at how he's introduced. And I want you guys to tell me what your first reaction is to seeing this guy, okay?
They are calling to us. Can you hear them? It is beautiful.
Because you want to know my reaction? My reaction was, ew! That looks disgusting!
Disgusting!
I mean, he just looks gross. Like, ew, look at him! He looks like a hepatitis jellyfish with a human face. And this is coming from Resistance, a series that I believe has some of the most amazing designed enemy types ever. Period. And then you see this thing and you're like, what were they thinking? And the reason why this bothers me so much is because when you look at the first game, you see all these great designed characters. Like, let's take a look at the Chad Camara from the first game. Okay, look at this guy. Chad. Then you look at this dude. Virgin jellyfish man over here. Like, what the hell is this? And you know what? It's unfortunate because I don't want to just harp on this dude, even though he looks so bad. Like, really, really disgusting. Like, he has pus on his chest. He has pus on his chest. No, thank you. But how about we talk about some of the other character designs? Now, some of them I actually really like. Like this guy. That actually looks pretty cool, okay? And then, you know, certain other designs I actually liked as well. But then you get to the regular Camaran soldier, and they just made him a beefy McBeefcake now. Why does he look like that? So, they made them like all muscular now, which is pretty weird, because that's not really the point. First of all, the Camaran foot soldiers are already really fucking strong. They could pick up a grown man by their throat and chuck them. Okay, they're really strong, okay? So they don't have to be beefy McBeefcakes, okay? But another thing about them is they're supposed to be creepy. They're supposed to be, like, intimidating through their physical appearance, not through muscles. This just looks silly. Come on, guys, that looks silly. And before I have anyone say, oh, but Dolphin, before you said this guy looks really good, and he's a big, strong guy, why do you think he looks good? That's the thing, though. He's actually supposed to be a tank enemy. He's supposed to soak up bullets. He's supposed to be a big, strong guy. This is the main frontline foot soldier. They're not supposed to be tanks. They're supposed to be creepy and gross. Yeah. But next problem with the game, number 4. The graphics. I actually can't believe I'm about to say this, but I actually think besides the cutscenes, I actually think Resistance Fall of Man has better graphics.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah. I know that may be a controversial opinion, but I honestly think that the first game was more appealing looking than the second. I don't really understand why, but it's true. I mean, look at this. Let's take a look at the blood, for example. Okay, the blood in the first game actually looks dark. It looks like real blood. You know, because blood is a lot darker in real life. Okay? In this one, it looks like paint. That looks like paint. But graphics aren't really an issue to me, basically because as long as the game plays well, then I'm fine. So this isn't really too much of an issue. So now I'm on to 3. It doesn't play well. Now look, I know what you're probably gonna say. Oh, Dolphin, you said you liked the multiplayer. How can you not like the gameplay? Because in the multiplayer, it's different. Multiplayer, I actually can see this type of gameplay being fun. I could see a 2-weapon carry limit working in a multiplayer setting and stuff like that, and I could see certain things working in multiplayer. But not in the campaign. Let's look at some of the gameplay elements that they've added. You can run now! Yay! I know you needed that so badly. I know we needed for him to be able to run so badly. No. Resistance Fall of Man was supposed to be kind of like an arcadey-like shooter, but with a modern twist. It has all the types of guns, like from how Duke Nukem 3D or Doom 64, all of them, how they had a bunch of guns on them. But it took it to a modern twist, where, you walked a little slower. But, that's good. When you're walking a little slower, you get to look more at the scenery, you get to look more at the bad guys, you get to, really check things out. I like that more, okay? When it's fast-paced, like in Call of Duty or something, you end up missing a lot of stuff. And, yeah, I know some people like that, but I don't. I like to see everything. I like to walk around. I like to check everything out. Resistance Fall of Man had that. Resistance 2 added running. So, yeah, that's great. Now we can run. And running is kind of like an essential thing that you have to do. So that's great. In case if I still haven't convinced you on why the gameplay from the first one is superior to the second one, let me just show you a comparison from the first game versus the second game. Yeah, I think you're starting to get my point here. Let's just watch that one more time. The enemies are so much slower to react to you. They give way less of a shit. They can barely even care that they're about to die. Next problem with the game. The Aquatic Enemies. The one that looks like the fish thing. And now I want to specify something really clearly. I actually love this thing's design. Like, look at it. It looks really cool. Like, that looks badass, alright? My problem with it, though, is how they made it play out. So basically they had it that, like, this is supposed to be one of those scary enemies, like a jump scary enemies that, like, if you were to jump in the water, it kills you, like, instantaneously. And while I think that that's a cool idea, that, like, if you fall in the water, you're dead, it does have one problem. He's invincible. Now, the thing is, I see what they were going for, okay? They were like, oh, we want him to be invincible, that way, you don't just kill him like you're shooting fish in a barrel, because he's in the water. But the thing is, I feel like they could have done something around this. They could have had something like, like, say if it's in deep water, they could have, like, added a lot of cool elements to this. Like, if you shoot at him, he'll, like, swim to the bottom of the water to where you can't get him. Then you have like little slightly extra time to get over to the other side of the room while you're swimming. Something like that, something unique. Or they could have done something like maybe if they're in a smaller pond, like if they're in like a smaller thing of water, you could actually kill them. Something like that. But instead, they just made him completely invincible, and you shoot at him a bunch of times, and then it just goes right through him. And I just can't understand why they did that. Like, no. There is something called immersion, people. And when you're immersed in a game, you like to have it be realistic. You like to really feel like you're there. That's what immersion is. When I'm playing Mass Effect, and I'm inside the universe, I really do feel like I'm getting the relationships with these characters. Like I'm killing these enemies. Like I'm doing something to save the galaxy.
Not sure if Turian heaven is the same as yours, but if this thing goes sideways and we both end up there, meet me at the bar. I'm buying.
We're a team, Garrus. There's no Shepard without Vicarian, so you better remember to duck.
Sorry, Turians don't know how, but I'll improvise. And Shepard, forgive the insubordination, but this old friend has an order for you. Go out there and give them hell. You were born to do this.
Goodbye, Garrus. And if I'm up there in that bar and you're not, I'll be looking down. I'll always have your back.
You see, a scene like that is very immersive because it really makes you feel like you're those characters, like you share those bonds. Everything with immersion is very important because it really draws you into the universe. This game, you shoot at them and nothing happens.
I'm severing the TACOM link, so I'll be out of radio contact.
It's distracting. I love their design, I just hate what they did with them. And now we're gonna get to, which in my opinion is the worst thing in the game. Now some of you may think, Dolphin, this is pretty petty. How is this the worst thing in the game? Now yes, I can get it, how it's not game breaking or anything, of course. It's nothing like really serious for gameplay wise. But oh my god, do I hate it so much. I'm just warning you guys. I'm just warning you. Little trigger warning here. I get really mad at this. Like, really mad. Alright. So here is what I think is the worst thing.
My lord, we found it. Well, then what are you waiting for? Bring it in!
What they did to the Goliaths. Ugh. Okay, so the Goliaths, let me just give you guys a little brief history lesson on the Goliaths, okay? In Resistance Fall of Man, the Goliaths are the most intimidating, indestructible enemy in the game. They are so powerful, just one of them can destroy an entire state, okay? They're very powerful. They're so powerful that they're basically like the Reapers of this game. They're indestructible, okay? You could shoot at them all you want, nothing's happening. But the only way that you could destroy them is if you got in a giant robot yourself and started fighting at it. Okay, that is cool. It makes them so indestructible, and it makes you feel so much more powerful when you can destroy them and no one else can. So, what did they do in Resistance 2? Alright, now, let me ask you a question. When do you guys think that they introduce the Goliaths in this game? When do you think? Do you think they introduced them in, the 6th level? Maybe even the 5th? Maybe the 8th, or, I don't know, maybe even earlier? How about maybe the 3rd level? No, that would be too weird. What if I were to tell you that they introduced them in the tutorial of the game? Now, I already have a huge issue with them being introduced in the tutorial, because they're literally the most powerful enemy in the game. Why would you introduce them in the beginning, like literally the second you wake up? No, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to build them up. You're supposed to build tension. You know, writing. Like they did in the first one. You know, good writing. But instead they wanted to introduce them. So I already have a problem with that, but if they made them good, then okay, I wouldn't really care all that much. But then I noticed something different happened. How do you think you kill the Goliath? Do you think you A, shoot it with a giant robot, B, maybe go inside of it and start killing everything from inside? Or C, pick up a rocket launcher that's on the floor and shoot it 3 times in the back, like it has an orange eye from Legend of Zelda? Which do you think it is? If you guess C, you'd be correct! Now, you should all understand why this is bad, but in case if you don't, let me really delve into this. Do you understand how anticlimactic this makes these characters? Do you understand how ill in comparison that makes them to the first one? Do you understand this, right? They took an enemy that is so powerful and turned them into a target for you to test things on. They turned them into a test dummy. That would literally be equivalent to taking Tartarus from Halo 2, bringing him into Halo 3, right? And then just having him just get shot in the head once with a pistol, and then you're like, good job, you did it. Because what would be the point of bringing him back if you're just gonna do that? No, that is not how you bring back an enemy type. Really think about this, okay? Like think of it from this perspective, alright? Imagine you're like the soldier on the battlefield, like not Sergeant Hale. Imagine if you're the soldier and you see something like this. Oh my god, it's indestructible! We can't do anything to stop this thing! Oh my god, we can't hurt it at all! We're not able to do... Whoa, what's Sergeant Hale doing? Hey, what? Is he getting in a giant robot? Oh my god! He's kicking its ass! Holy shit! What, we won! Hell yeah! Or do you think, or which do you think is better, or this experience? Oh, hey. Oh, there's a Goliath. Oh, hey, got this rocket launcher. I guess I'll kill it. Okay, it's dead. Alright. Which do you think is better? Look, I can't be too harsh on this game. Alright? It's not horrible. It's not an absolute garbage fest. The thing is that I cannot fathom how anyone thought that this was a good idea to turn the Goliath into a test dummy. No one can tell me that that was a good idea. I just can't fathom how anyone would think that. Like, listen, you could be the most hardcore, die-hard Resistance 2 fan, okay? You could worship this game like a god. But even you have to admit, turning this once extremely indestructible enemy into a target practice dummy was a bad move. So the Goliath was completely and utterly ruined, and it really deafened my experience in the beginning, okay? But look, the game overall, I would not say is terrible, okay? There are a lot of redeeming qualities in it as well. I can see why people like this game. I'm not saying it's absolute dog water, but it just has its issues, and I would say that it actually has more issues than bad. So that was my review on Resistance 2. I hope you liked it, and I can understand if some people may not agree with me. If you disagree with me on this, that is totally fine, and I'd like you to leave a comment on the bottom and let me know what you think. Let me know what you liked about this game, or let me know what you didn't like about this game. So that's it for today, guys. I'll see you guys on the next Assertive Dolphin episode.